My name is Mia McKinnon. I've been married to Sebastian for 3 years and am a working housewife. Sebastian and I have always gotten along well, but lately, there's been something off about him. Until now, Sebastian never worked late, and he would come home right after his work ended at the regular time. However, since April this year, he's been put in charge of training new employees, and since then, he has started working overtime and coming home late every day. Whenever I try to talk to him about it, he gets in a bad mood. Lately, you've been coming home pretty late. Are you feeling all right? Quit nagging. Do you have a problem? If I don't earn money, we can't even live in this house. You have no right to complain to me. I don't mean to complain, but I'm worried because you've been coming home late every day. I don't need your worries. I'm tired and going to take a bath and sleep. Our conversations go nowhere like this. I've been feeling like I want to have children someday, so I want to cherish our time together as a couple, but we can't even talk, so I can't bring this up. And still, Sebastian continues to work late. One day, as I was tidying up Sebastian's suit, I found a pair of earrings in his pocket. I confronted Sebastian about it when he got out of the bath. What are these women's earrings doing in your suit? These? A new employee left them at work, so I was holding on to them. But do you really need to bring them home? Just leave them at your desk at the office. They might get stolen, so it's normal to bring them home and keep them safe. Got a problem? Are you suspecting me of cheating or something? If you have time to worry about that, you should work more, understood? Sebastian said that and went to the bedroom, ending the conversation. More problems continued with Sebastian. First, there was a lipstick mark on the side of his white shirt. It might be excusable if it were on the collar or sleeve, but a mark on the side is unthinkable. Furthermore, he frequently receives calls on weekends and talks for a long time on the balcony. After 5 months of suspicious behavior, I received a WhatsApp message from a woman. The content of the WhatsApp was shocking. Hello, my name is Madeline. I've been under Sebastian's care. Along with that message, she sent a video of Sebastian and the woman named Madeline in the middle of an affair. Not only was there one video, but several different ones. As these videos kept coming daily, I gradually became stressed and fell ill. And about 2 weeks later, Madeline sent another message, Sebastian, a sloppy man like you suits me better than you. We haven't been together in a while, right? I've been taking care of him instead. You're just an old woman, whereas a young woman like me suits him better. Oh, but don't worry. I'm engaged, so I'll give him back once I'm done. What kind of relationship do you have with my husband? It's a secret, but just so you know, I've been the one comforting him. You should be thankful since I'm taking care of him instead of you. Taking care of him? We are married, so this means you're having an affair, right? An affair? Well, maybe that's what it is, but he loves me, and you clearly have no love from him. So it's more like a real romance, I guess? I see. I'll ask Sebastian. You can ask, but be prepared not to be shocked. I was considering asking Sebastian when he got home from work, but I figured he wouldn't answer directly. That's when an idea came to me. Actually, before we got married, Sebastian and I worked at the same company. However, he said he didn't want to work with his wife, me, after we got married, so I quit the company. Because of that, I still have a good friend from my cohort at Sebastian's company. When I contacted this friend to talk, I uncovered some troubling facts. The girl Sebastian is training is 19 years old and apparently, they're very close. She joined right after high school and is quite beautiful, making her quite popular in the office. But lately, there's been a rumor spreading. From what I've heard, they're so close that some suspect it might be an affair. I think there's no way because I have Mia, but lately, he's been making more outside visits and they even have lunch together at work. Sebastian used to eat the lovingly made lunchboxes Mia prepared, right? But lately, it seems different. Yeah, I haven't been making lunchboxes recently. He said he didn't need them anymore. That was also around April this year. Maybe that new employee, Madeline, is the one making them now. But you know, that woman, she's engaged.
Engaged? I haven't heard about that.
Right. It seems like we should dig deeper. If there's anything you want to know, I'll help, so just call me anytime. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Since then, I haven't asked Sebastian anything directly, and my days are filled with updates about his actions from Madeline. On weekends, when he's increasingly not at home, Madeline sends photos from hotels or them dining at fancy restaurants. And from around that time, Sebastian stopped contributing money to the household.
Sebastian? It seems like you haven't been paying the rent or the utilities recently. Are you out of money? Why don't you pay them? Why do you assume it's my responsibility to pay? But that was the agreement from the start. You would handle the rent and utilities, and I'd cover groceries and necessities. Plus, I quit my job, so I don't have much money. I could pay for the utilities, but I can't afford the rent. That's your problem, isn't it? Don't rely on me forever. Hey, by any chance, are you cheating? Are you out of money because you're spending it somewhere else? You, stop suspecting me right away. Anyway, even if I were cheating, what then? Shouldn't you just accept it since you're not appealing enough? Well, I'm not doing anything like that, but I'll pay the rent and utilities since I have to, all right? Be grateful, okay? Then make sure you pay by tomorrow. Otherwise, they'll shut off our gas and electricity. Huh? If it's that urgent, you should have told me sooner. How could I have told you? You weren't even home. And I won't take the blame for your anger over such things.
Ever heard of WhatsApp? It's a handy tool that lets you have a conversation in writing without talking to someone like you.
Yeah. I got it. Just make sure you pay the money.
I've become so averse to talking to Sebastian that, for now, I just settled the money issue. I seriously need to think about what to do with our marriage. Divorce was certainly on the table, but I couldn't just accept ending things this way. If I go through with a divorce, I need to catch him cheating and get alimony, or I'll be the only one at a loss. I can't let that happen. One day, Sebastian suddenly said he was going on a business trip, something he had never done before. I know because I used to work at the same company as Sebastian. It's impossible for his department to have business trips. While they do make local visits, his company has branches nationwide, so there's no need for Sebastian to travel out of state to negotiate. Besides, frankly speaking, Sebastian isn't really seen as a key player by the company. When I told my boss I was quitting because I was getting married to Sebastian, he said, "It's a shame that you are leaving. You're much more capable than Sebastian," which shows that Sebastian's presence isn't crucial to the company. This is strange. I thought, but I have someone who reports Sebastian's activities to me. That's Madeline. If Sebastian is traveling with her, she'll likely send photos along with updates. I'll use those photos as evidence of infidelity to get a divorce. That's what I was thinking. In front of Sebastian, I pretended to be a good understanding wife, supporting his work and playing the role of a dedicated spouse. Then, on the day of the business trip, as expected, I got a message from Madeline. "Today, I'm in Louisville with Sebastian. You haven't gone on a trip since you got married, right? He says he wants to spend money on me, but not on you. He even bought me a Tiffany necklace recently. You've never gotten anything like that, right? Even your wedding ring was a cheap one bought on a discount, wasn't it? Heh. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'd be happy if you send me lots of photos with Sebastian." What? You seem pretty relaxed for someone whose husband is being taken away. I really don't care what you two do anymore. Oh, putting on a brave face. But don't worry about a divorce, okay? I'm getting married in a year, so I'll give Sebastian back to you then. He'll be my hand-me-down, though. You're what, 35 now? I'll still be 20 in a year and able to have healthy kids, but you'll be almost middle-aged. Desperately try making babies with my hand-me-down. You really say whatever you want. Sorry? Sebastian and I are going to enjoy the streets of Louisville now, so I can't keep you company anymore.
Bye-bye.
And then, Madeline kept sending photos over and over. Maybe because she's young, she doesn't realize these could be used as evidence for alimony claims. I'm truly glad she's not the brightest. I no longer love Sebastian. If possible, I'd like to start moving towards divorce during these 3 days he's away. That was what I was thinking. And that night, Madeline sent another video right in the middle of it all, apparently enjoying themselves at a charming inn in Louisville. However, I'm no longer disturbed. And then, I sent back a certain video. After seeing that video, Madeline called me. Until now, we had only communicated via WhatsApp, but this was the first time I heard Madeline's voice, and she sounded quite panicked.
Hey! What is this video?
Madeline's voice was loud and agitated. However, I did not answer the phone.
That should be my line!
As soon as she heard that voice, Madeline, who had been chattering like a monkey, fell silent.
Theodore? Yes, it's me. What are you doing? I thought you were acting suspicious, but I never imagined you were doing something like this. It's not what it looks like. What do you mean it's not what it looks like? I'm so disappointed in you. Wait. Why are you with that woman? Did you approach Theodore for revenge?
It's really laughable. As if I'd do something like that. You really are shallow-minded. Not everyone cheats like you do.
I can't believe this. I'm going to sue you for alimony. You're mocking me.
Does this woman even understand her situation? I was so disappointed at that point. But more disappointed than me was Theodore.
Do you even realize how despicable what you've done is? You didn't just betray me. You destroyed a family. Theodore! It's not like that. Sebastian forced me to go with him. It's too late now. I've thoroughly investigated you. Why would you do that? I was careful not to get caught. You're the worst. I'm going to be the next company CEO. My father said I needed to investigate who would be the wife of the next CEO. I said it wasn't necessary, but he insisted. And I'm glad I did. I never thought you'd be such a terrible person. Then why are you meeting with this woman? If you were investigating me, she's not involved, right? When I was investigating you, I found out you were causing trouble for this Mia. And if Mia didn't know, she'd be shocked, and if she did, I wanted to talk to her. What's that supposed to mean? By the way, what is Sebastian doing now? Sebastian is just staring blankly into space.
Perhaps Theodore was fed up with Madeline's naively sincere yet thoughtlessly indifferent attitude, so he handed off the phone. And then I took over and spoke with Madeline. Come back right now. I'm sorry to interrupt your carefree trip, but you two shouldn't have the luxury to do that anymore. Is Sebastian in a daze behind you? If so, let him know. The divorce papers are already prepared, so come back with peace of mind.
So, I said I'd return Sebastian to you when I got married, didn't I? Why are you getting a divorce then? I told you you could have my leftovers.
Do you really have that much pride? I'm truly appalled. Do you even understand the situation you're in? You've been caught cheating, and your engagement is broken off. And yet, how can you be so nonchalant? Oh, just so you know, this call is on speaker. Your fiancé is also hearing your senseless talk, okay?
Huh? Why would you put it on speaker? It's supposed to be a private conversation between women, right? It's really useless talking to you. Theodore is holding his head in his hands. Don't you dare call Theodore. What's your relationship with him anyway? Did some desperate old woman try to seduce him? That's enough. I wouldn't do that. I'm not the type of woman who throws herself at men recklessly. You never know? Women like you do such despicable things. Enough already. You mess with someone's husband and then call me despicable? Which mouth is saying this? Don't you understand what it means when you keep sending photos of you with my husband? You're giving me the evidence. Thanks to what you sent, I was able to get a divorce, and your fiancé has realized what a terrible person you are. What's that? I'm not breaking off my engagement. It's Theodore's fault for not paying attention to me because of his work. If Sebastian was nice to me, it's only natural I'd go to him. It's all your fault. So, we're not bad. We've done nothing wrong.
Talking to this woman was getting nowhere. While thinking about it, Theodore said in a stern voice, "Get back here quickly. Stop making a scene and embarrassing yourself further. Don't put me to shame any longer." Madeline, perhaps frightened by his voice, hung up the phone. Then, Sebastian sent me a message on WhatsApp.
Mia! It's all a misunderstanding. Please, let's talk. It's too late now. I'm waiting at my house with Theodore, and we'll discuss the alimony from both sides. Alimony? I'm not getting a divorce. Do you think you have the right to say that? How delusional can you be? But we swore to love each other when we got married. Just because I had a little affair doesn't mean we should break our vows. The problem is that you betrayed the love you claimed to have by having an affair. Just come back quickly. If you don't return by today, I'll increase the alimony. Hey, wait.
Ignoring my pitiful husband, I forcibly ended the call, and Theodore apologized to me. "I'm so sorry. This is truly embarrassing." "No. Theodore, you were deceived too. It's good that I realized this before getting married. It's really embarrassing that I didn't notice earlier. It can't be helped. I didn't even notice when earrings came out of the suit. That's too much. Why did you even investigate me?" Everything I told Madeline earlier is the reason. Ever since I introduced Madeline to my father, he's been telling me she seemed a bit suspicious and that I should conduct a background check. I resisted because I couldn't believe someone I trusted could do such things. But I'm going to be carrying the company forward, and I don't want to be compromised by a scandal. So, I decided to check. Then, I received a photo of Madeline walking with your husband. Upon further investigation, I found out he was married, and I debated whether or not to tell you, but seeing how devoted Madeline appeared, I thought it best to inform you. However, I never expected her to contact you like this. At first, I was shocked, but I've gotten used to it. Also, I was planning to proceed with the divorce during this trip, so being introduced to a lawyer was very helpful. I'm glad to hear that. And embarrassingly enough, Madeline is an employee I had hired through connections. Are you going to be the CEO of my husband's company? Yes, that's correct. You used to work there too, right? Yes, I did, but I resigned because my husband wanted me to stop working after we got married. My father mentioned it was a shame to lose such a valuable employee. If you'd like, since Sebastian will be fired, could you consider working with us again? Are you sure? I'm turning 36 and don't really have any special skills. Plus, I haven't been involved in the recent events, and there will be a lot to organize with moving houses and other arrangements, so I'd like some time to sort everything out. Of course. I welcome you. But now those two are coming back. Are you all right with that? I'm fine now. I've prepared myself emotionally. 3 hours later, Sebastian and Madeline returned looking pale. Sebastian apologized suddenly, but I stood firm looking down at him.
Doing that won't change anything, you know? I'm getting a divorce. Don't say that. You'd be in trouble too if you divorced me, right? You're just a part-timer with no money or place to go. I'd rather live alone than stay with someone like you. Besides, you don't even contribute to the household, so life won't be much different for me. Saying things like that.
As we spoke calmly, Madeline was crying next to us.
Please, Theodore. I was just really lonely. You were so busy taking over the company. I wanted to support you someday as your secretary. What secretary? Don't joke around. You're just a high school graduate who thought of leeching off me, so I thought it'd be better if you worked at the company. And then you cheat with your trainer within a month or so. Unbelievable. Please, please. I won't do it again. I promise. It's been my dream to become the wife of a CEO, please. Look. You've dug your own grave. In the end, as long as someone has money, anyone will do for you. You changed the way you looked at me the moment you heard I was the son of a CEO and started flirting with me. I should have realized it then. Sure, you're pretty, and there's no denying you're charming and personable. But choosing you as a marriage partner was a mistake. I'm not stupid. I'll be seeking alimony for the broken engagement. Ideally, I'd also have you pay for the cancellation fee for the venue we had booked, but since it's booked for much later, there won't be any cancellation fees. Expect to pay more than the going rate for alimony. Be prepared. I don't have that kind of money. That figures. You've been spending on other men aside from this guy.
Sebastian, perhaps shocked by this revelation, looked at Madeline.
What are you talking about? I know everything. I've investigated. You sold everything that Sebastian gave you to fund your other men, didn't you? It's not because you were lonely that you cheated. You can't live without cheating. Probably because you've always been pampered for being beautiful, you're never satisfied alone. You were probably planning to quit your job and live off my money once we were married, right? That's not true. Sure, I was invited by friends, and yes, I went to a bar and met some guys, but I didn't fund them. Madeline, all the bags and necklaces I gave you, you sold them, didn't you? When I asked, you said you were keeping them because they were too precious to use. Would you just shut up? You're just a money tree for me. You just spent the money for me, don't act so high and mighty. Madeline, you're kidding, right? How shameful. You betray your wife, and then get betrayed by your affair partner. What do you have left? Just a huge debt from alimony, right? That can't be, it's a lie. It's not a lie. Not just from me, but Theodore will also be seeking alimony. Oh, and Madeline, you too, right? You'll be facing claims from both me and Theodore, so be prepared. Why should I pay you? I've been saying all along. I was going to return Sebastian to you. And yet you make such a fuss. Just shut up. Seriously, just stop. I'm calling off the engagement and will seek alimony. But let's not talk more about this here. It's wrong to discuss this in someone else's house. We'll handle our respective alimony claims through lawyers.
Yes, that's understandable. After that, Madeline and Theodore left our house. Sebastian kept apologizing, but I could not accept his apologies. Sebastian. I'm disappointed. And here's another sad piece of news for you. Theodore from earlier? He's the son of your company's president. So, you're going to be fired.
What? You can't fire someone for personal reasons. It's not a personal reason. You committed infidelity during work hours, lied about going on sales calls, and were caught in a hotel in broad daylight. That's a legitimate social issue. So you're saying I'm left with nothing?
That's what it comes down to.
It can't be. Why did this happen? It's the result of betraying your wife. I need some time to pack my things, so could you please go back to your parents' house for a while? I'll have the house cleared out in 3 days. Is the divorce really happening? Can't we go back?
It's impossible now. You betrayed me. There's nothing more to be done. With that, Sebastian left the house, shoulders slumped. A few hours later, I received a message from Madeline.
It's all your fault. Because of you, my engagement is off. I had finally found a future CEO.
I don't know what to tell you. Your actions brought this on yourself. Blaming me is absolutely absurd.
You're the worst. What am I supposed to do now?
Don't you know? Why don't you just stay with Sebastian? Neither of you has anything left, so why not just comfort each other? Well, I suppose that might not be so bad. I don't hate him, after all. Then make sure you take care of the alimony payments. That's fine. Sebastian is working at Theodore's company. They do pay well, after all. Well then, that should work out. Best of luck.
We'll be filing for divorce tomorrow and will soon be free to marry, so go ahead. As long as you pay the alimony, that's all I care about.
By then. After conveying that, I hung up the phone. Her delusional thinking really is something else. Apparently, Madeline did go back to Sebastian, and with nothing left to lose, Sebastian accepted her. However, Sebastian kept a significant detail to himself. He had been fired from his job. A month after they married, when Madeline realized Sebastian hadn't been going to work, she confronted him.
What's going on? Why aren't you going to work?
What do you mean? I've been fired. I've been too shocked to work for a while, so you'll have to support me now. I supported you all this time.
You're kidding, right? When were you fired? When your ex-fiancé came to the house. You're lying. So your ex-wife knew you got fired?
Of course, she knows. She's actually re-employed at your ex-fiancé's company now.
That bitch. She hid that from me.
Never mind that, get to work.
You still have alimony payments to make, right? What about your payments?
I took out loans to make the payments. Since I have my debts too, you're still young. Go find some night work to make money.
I was deceived, this is the worst.
Within a month of marriage, they were already in crisis. It's likely they'll end up divorcing, but that has nothing to do with me. I managed to return to my old company, was welcomed by many colleagues, and am now dedicated to my work. But after a while, Sebastian and Madeline showed up at the company seeking to reduce their alimony payments.
Hey! You have jobs! Reduce our alimony! It's ridiculous that only we have lost everything. Yeah. And you, lady. You dumped this trash on me.
To have the person right here and still call them trash.
It's true. Quitting my job, not finding new employment, and he's suggesting I find night work?
Well, you chose that loser, didn't you? Before blaming others, maybe hate yourself for your choices? Really, you got what you deserved. At that point, Theodore called security, and they were escorted out. Seeing their miserable state, I felt oddly refreshed.